you talk about certain things have changed, certain things haven't changed. The GCSEs haven't changed, and so forth. And again, you put a fantastic case on that. But we've had also a lot of changes as well. Quite a few elements. We're probably navigating through another season of some change happening. So talk to us a little bit about now, trying to bring this podcast to a little bit of a close in terms of future. Horizon really, in terms of what you see in terms of your organization, what do you see in terms of the sector as a whole, and something in terms of the landscape really as a nation, particularly with regard to education and work.
As a business, what I've realised we are good at is that interpretation of what an employer requires. And how do we then, as a business, evolve to support that whole life cycle? So, we've spoke about we're very well known for our place in the apprenticeship sector, but actually it's how we broaden that to be different and how we support that retention, recruitment and upskill of not just our own workforce as we need to evolve, but actually the employers we work with. And recognising everything shouldn't just be about formal qualifications. There are other things that we need to offer, need to be available if we're really, really going to help those L&D departments, HR departments, early years, careers, teams, to actually say, how do we recruit, retain and upskill our workforce? And that is going to have to continue. But I believe, because money is tighter for businesses as well, we need to find the most efficient, best way of doing that. And I think we can only do that by actually embedding ourselves more in those organisations. So for us, it's very much that evolvement of not just seeing ourselves as an endpoint assessment organisation, but an organisation that can assess and support the growth of individuals, particularly with certain employers.
Okay. In terms of future aspirations for yourselves, I mean, you've had a fantastic run with regard to massive sort of scale-up growth, in terms of not just in terms of revenue, but also in terms of obviously the staff which comes in there, but also the qualification range, the number of employers you're working with, and the business dynamics. What's the trends in terms of going forward? What's the ambition? I mean, I know it's not about the numbers, but it's about the impact and so forth. But just give us an idea of what the trajectory looks like for yourselves.
So we've certainly made real inroads into getting into the creative sector. So that's become a real growth area for us. We've recently got into the transport and logistics sector. So again, we're seeing huge growth there. I've mentioned not everything being formal qualifications. This is an area where we're seeing particular combined authorities having a massive interest in that, along with employers who want to recognise that they've got high quality programmes they are delivering, but don't necessarily need that to be a formal qualification because they don't want that constraint. And then lastly is, at the moment, we are exploring the international market and to see whether what we do is something that we should offer internationally. And that's been driven by some of the employers we work with who aren't just UK based, but are global, and the interest of actually working outside the UK there. It
is a smaller world out there. And if as you said, there's a number of employers who are multinational and want possibly the consistency across the globe, really, in terms of their offer as well. So, Charlotte, obviously it's been fantastic. I mean, it's been an eye-opener for me, particularly in terms of the research. And yes, I've seen you on stage and I've heard, you talk about the sector and give us all a pep talk and particularly when we're feeling a little bit gloomy and so forth. And you've always cheered us up and given us hope as well. And today, there's been a slightly different dimension. I've got to know a little bit about yourself, a lot about yourself, really, that some of it I wasn't aware of until I started doing the research as well. So it's given me, it's been inspirational for myself as well. It's been very much quite cathartic in terms of listening to yourself and seeing the journey and you being open about sharing those, the journey that you've had. We've got nothing but respect for you, and as you said earlier on, the sector as a whole does look up to you and sees you as a peer, sees you as a leader. You are a thought leader, you are an influencer. There's no doubt, and I said it right at the beginning. I do regard you as a mentor, so I've got nothing but respect for yourself, and I salute you for your support. If I can request you to say some last few words of hope for us all and encouragement, Charlotte, and from my bottom of my heart, thank you. So last few words of encouragement and support.
We are in it together, and we are stronger together, and we should never lose that hope, and that isn't just a bubbly personality in Twee. And I often say, whether it be to my team or others, the only gift we have is being able to change the things we can change. So let's not fixate on the things we can't, and hopefully then that makes us stronger together and gives us that hope that we all hang on to.
Charlotte, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, absolute pleasure to share some time with you, and thank you once again. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Saf.
Canny Conversation Podcast Series 5 by Safaraz Ali.